Good morning, Sooner Nation. It's going to be a beautiful Wednesday. You know why I know that? Because we are one day closer to the Oklahoma Sooners playing in the Alamo Bowl. Yes, you heard me right. Oklahoma's taking on Arizona. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. We're here to talk about the transfer portal. And y'all, I got a confession to make because I was wrong about something and I need to apologize to y'all. So make sure you go ahead and you hit that like. Guys, if you're not subscribed, which is like 76% of you now, make sure you're subscribed. Down there at the little bottom, you'll see this thing circle. If it says subscribe, just go ahead and hit that for me. Help me out. And you guys can stay up to date with all of the greatest OU content. We'd like to have other people on. We talk about recruiting, transfer portal news, and of course, we'll break down the games and things like that to the best of my non expertise football knowledge. But guys, I got to start this off today with an apology. Because over the past couple of weeks, we've been talking about a specific defensive lineman in the portal from the University of Florida. Talking about how, hey, you know what? The longer that this drags on for Oklahoma, the better this is, right? I mean, you heard that he had been trending to Missouri. You had been trending to Colorado. And this was after maybe the OU hype had died down. And I said, hey, yeah, it's looking like Missouri right now, but hey, Oklahoma might be in a good position if this just continues to drag along. Well, Chris McClellan, he ended up committing to the University of Missouri. So apologize to y'all. I steered you wrong on that one, but I am not afraid to admit it. Chris McClellan is not going to be a Sooner. He's going to be a Missouri Tiger. And guys, let's not fault the kid here, right? Because when schools are throwing out bags, which, I mean, there are schools doing that. You even heard, ironically, you heard Drinkowitz talk about it. And yet it looks like they're the ones throwing bags here. Yeah. Anyways, you can't blame the kids for wanting to go out there and get the most money possible, right? If there's ridiculous amounts of money being thrown at them, you would do it too, right? If you had a job that was offering you $1 million, you had a job that was offering you $500,000, you're probably taking the one that's giving you $1 million. So those aren't the real numbers, so please don't take me for that. But thank you guys for tuning into the PG Show, where we talk about all things college football. We got to talk about Oklahoma, give them a little bit more love because it's the team that I love and it's the team that you love. All right, now that that's out of the way, I want to talk about some guys that have popped up in the transfer portal that I think would be interesting for Oklahoma. Obviously, you had Davis Bevel hit the transfer portal. You had LV Bunkley Shelton hit the transfer portal today, which I'm recording this on a Tuesday night. I record these late at night, and then you guys have them set to come out at 6:30 a.m. But LV Bunkley Shelton, he hit the transfer portal. That one was expected. Personally, I'm thinking JJ Hester hits the portal, but we haven't seen anything with Hester yet. So maybe he stays on the team, or maybe he at least stays through the bowl game. You're going to have post bowl game portal entries. And for Oklahoma, I think the circle mark for the one that's exiting your team is Tawi Walker, right? Is he going to continue being an Oklahoma Sooner? It does look like he might be playing in the bowl game from what all indications are pointing at. So it's going to be interesting to watch that and see how that unfolds. Maybe he gets a scholarship, or maybe he gets more PWO money to stay with Oklahoma. And then obviously the guy that entered the transfer portal last week that we've had a lot of conversations around, and that's Casey Thompson, right? You've heard a lot of conversations about, hey, he might be interested in Oklahoma. He might be interested in a return to Nebraska. So you guys will just have to keep your eyes out there, because now the Davis Bevel's out of this quarterback room. It does open up a spot. I would still think it's probably not a scholarship spot, but I guess only time will tell with that one. Now, there are a couple guys that enter the transfer portal from a couple other schools that I think Oklahoma fans really need to be paying attention to. And the first one is a defensive lineman that got an offer from Oklahoma, and his name is Caden Woolard. He's a former 3-star defensive lineman, or, well, out of high school, he was a linebacker, but he's now a defensive lineman. He's been converted. 6'4". I believe he is 252 pounds. He is a junior, so he'll have 2 years of eligibility left with that COVID year. This year, he had 41 total tackles, 19 solos, 9.5 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles, along with 1 pass breakup. In his career, he's been a guy that has absolutely shined with 26 solo tackles. He has had 15 sacks, and guys, his total tackle number, it's way up there. So you look at Caden Woolard getting that offer from Oklahoma. I do look at some of the other offers that he has from Minnesota, Indiana, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Kansas football, and Missouri. I know nobody wants to hear Missouri in the mix, but Missouri decided to offer the kid. And hey, you know what? It's smart on Missouri's part because they need to go out there and they need to rebuild this team to win now, especially with getting some of the talent that they got in this transfer portal class. So I understand why they're throwing out the bags and why they're chasing the guys that they are. But Caden Woolard is a guy that you expect probably plays the edge position for Oklahoma, maybe could play a little bit of cheetah, right? Defensive end linebacker. And he's going to be a guy that can come in and kind of immediately fill in for the replacement of Rondell Bothroyd. He's also a guy that can come in and just make an immediate impact. So Caden Woolard, again, follows that trend where Oklahoma is trying to get guys with multiple years of eligibility if they take anybody in the transfer portal. That makes sense. You don't want to get guys just on one-year rentals and then have to start the cycle all over again next year. But another guy that entered the portal, former teammates with Deion Burks, and that's going to be Nick Scorton. He's a sophomore out of Purdue, originally from Bryan, Texas. Nick Scorton had an absolute stellar year for Purdue, 50 total tackles, 10 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 3 pass breakups, and 33 solo tackles. Now, this is a guy that not only played defensive end, but he also played a little bit of outside linebacker. So again, you look at a guy that is a little bit more versatile. He's going to be able to play multiple positions. In fact, could even play that cheetah position. And you know, BV would love to go out there and get a guy like that. Now, I did reach out to Nick Scorton. I'm still waiting to hear if he has an offer from Oklahoma. But good news for Oklahoma fans is he said that if he got the offer, he would 100% be interested in the University of Oklahoma. So that's exciting there. He is a guy that just caused absolute havoc in the backfield. I think this year he had 15 tackles for loss. So that's one that I would keep an eye on for Oklahoma to potentially go make a run at. Obviously, Tackett Curtis, Brian Odom, he's not on the staff yet, so not to give your hopes up there. Domani Jackson, honestly, haven't heard much left on this. It's been pretty quiet. I have followed up with a couple people this morning because, hey, now that we're out of the holiday season, it's time to start doing that thing again. So hopefully on the next transfer portal updates, we will have something on Domani Jackson. But guys, I want to hear from y'all. So make sure you're joining the discussion, jumping down in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think about Davis Bevel and LV Bunkley Shelton hitting the transfer portal. Additionally, do you think these two guys would be good transfer portal takes?